Welcome to Introduction to Business Management 111 online, offered by Harper College, located in Palatine, Illinois, utilizing Blackboard Course Management System and McGraw-Hill Connect and Learn Smart integrated software. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. This week we'll be starting week 7. Before I go into week 7, let's talk a little bit about last week. Well, I guess the video quiz didn't work out that well for the Mac users, but most of you did very well on that. So I won't use that. I'll have to talk to the publisher to see how come the Mac users weren't able to view that and others could. Okay, business terms and what do you call it? The business terms and concepts. Try to put them as we're going forward to start putting them into your forms. We'll talk a little bit. This week's forum is going to be on your research project, your feasibility research project. So I have created for this week in Blackboard already a concept map, the 6 main topics that you'll be discussing that are required, and also what do you call it, a feasibility rubrics or grading sheets so you can see what you have to do to maximize to get the full 150 points for this final research project. Okay, let's see. I'm going to change the points a little bit going forward. So, by the way, the last week is good. So now this week, week 7, what's going to change? Well, I'm not going to try to over test you or over because the material is getting a little more complicated. I want you to make sure you focus in on material, start focusing on your research project. We're halfway in this course. We'll be going forward. I will have a quick YouTube on what's required to the feasibility project for you to view in a week or so. So you should be all set. So the Connect. This week I'll try to have at least one Connect homework instead of the 2 chapters Connect homework combined. So this week you'll have a Connect homework on chapters 11, and I think that's HR, so you'll do it's worth 20 points instead of the 10 points. So the numbers will be the same. If you look at maintaining the same amount of points per week, we'll need less chapters, okay? And then the quizzes, again, you won't have a double quiz like chapters 11 and 12. You'll just have a quiz. No Connect on chapter 12, but you have a quiz on chapter 12, and that'll be worth 20 points. So it'll be still 10 questions, only two points for each question. So that should lighten your load a little bit so you can start focusing on your research project. Okay, so what do we have this week? Let's go into this week, a real quick overview. So I already explained the Connect. You have chapters 11 on HR, chapter 12. On that. Let's talk about chapters, let's see, 11 and 12. Make sure you pull out your concept maps. I'm going to go, I utilize the concept maps and to help you for studying and help you when you're ready for to study for the final comprehensive exam. So we've got the concept maps in chapter 11, and chapter 11 is HR. And human relationship, even for your feasibility project, you're going to have to identify at least 2 or 3 key employees or people that you're going to need to make this either this business venture or this new product line a success. Someone has to sell it, someone has to market it, someone's going to have to train somebody, someone's going to have to be able to lead this project so at a succession. Okay, so now on this chapter we'll talk about the civil rights, you talk about the ADA, you'll be talking about human resource planning, you'll be talking about job analysis. Job analysis basically has job description, job specification. You look about recruitment. So if you're going to come up with a project that's a brand new business, where are you going to find these individuals? How are you going to recruit them? And so you're going to be required to do at least a job description or a job and a job specification for at least one of the main key components of this project going forward. Training and development, how you're going to train people, managers and training. If you look at a lot of supervisors, first-line supervisors have no training at all. They're just thrown into that position because they're good at what they did. This is most likely a negative for a lot of companies because you don't have the not to say that you won't be a good leader. There's a lot of first-line supervisors did very well, but most have to know the rules, what are the laws. How do I handle someone that's? How do I handle conflict? What are the regular legal ramifications in a business? What are the grieving procedures? All those are very important from an HR perspective. Even though I'm not an HR individual, I teach HR classes, and I teach it from the perspective of a manager. HR in many companies, large and small, are basically my legal representation, and lets me know that I am treating employees fairly, like a sounding board. It's like a check and balance. Okay, now let's see. You'll talk about the 6 steps for performance appraisal. Part of the HR process is performance appraisal. How do I make sure that the performance appraisals utilizing for the whole company are fair and honest and non-discriminatory? Okay, what kind of mistakes does appraisal makes? Compensation programs, and what and, HR recommends what kind of compensation programs, and that makes a difference depending whether I'm a baby boomer, whether I'm what do you call it, a Generation Y or a Generation X type of individual. So, what kind of compensation programs will attract me to work for the company and retain me, so the company doesn't have to go through this vicious cycle of hiring and rehiring and retraining, and that's a cost and very cost ineffective. Types of different pay systems, compensating team, what are fringe benefits. A lot of fringe benefits are going to reduce because of the economic downturn. But then you have the healthcare, Obama's or the national healthcare program. How's that going to affect? And how do people who have traditional healthcare programs change to this new national healthcare program, which everyone has to comply to if you have 50 or more employees? What's a cafeteria style type of benefits? So a lot of you have dual income people working for you, and I may have a good medical here, but my wife has a good what do you call it? A dental plan, so I don't need a dental plan from you. So a lot of cafeteria style HR is basically you can select what you want, and up to like $2,000, whatever the cost is, and you could select which ones you want. What's flexible scheduling plans? Flexible schedule plans of moving employees. There's a lot of people working at home because it's easier for the families or single parents or even single mom or dad or people who have custody of an elder or a child or are the caretakers of an elderly loved one. Okay, so that takes care of chapter 11 to let you know everything about HR. The next chapter we're going to go ties into chapter 11, human resources, is labor relations. Even though a lot of labor relations or chapter 12 or business issues is thrown at the front of the first line supervisors and the management team, it is HR that brings into light which areas that we should be concerned about, which areas we may be walking that fine line, which areas the company wants to improve within our human resource program. So you're going to look at organized labor, and if you look at what's going now, you had the teacher strike union here in the Illinois area, the Chicago teacher strike for the last 25 years. What did labor want? What did taxpayers, and what can I really afford? You could want a lot of things, but if I only have so much money, there's no way. So if I get a contract that basically gives you everything that labor wants, the only way I could pay for it is to raise taxes, which in this case was not feasible since it's election year. Or what I have to do is reduce the schools, increase the workload, or reduce the number of teachers. So it has a big impact not only on the company, or in this case the school, the Chicago public school system, but it has a thing on everyone, all stakeholders that are involved. Once you reduce the services and the employees within there, history about labor unions, why join a union, and if you look at a lot of unions, not really, since the United States is going and the U.S. is more of a service manufacturer. You see a lot of the labor unions moving from manufacturing jobs more into service or more into the what do you call it, blue collar work or even white collar work or even the academic. They're not called unions, they kind of call it like association. Basically same kind of a format, but a little bit more pliable for people to accept that more at the academic or at what do you call it, service level. Okay, a lot of people tie unions and always tie that into like with the manufacturing, and they've taken a whole new change and new reorganization and focus on who they're out there to help and serve. Okay, question about pay equity. They talk about compensating executive. Right now the United States pays more bonuses than any other country in the world to their top executives, and we're the worst producers. So if that is the case, we're the worst producers, we should, compensation is something that should be off balance. It's not in balance, because if I'm not producing, I'm losing money, you don't pay me a big a bonus. If you have anything else, you fire me or let me go. Okay, so different about child care, elder care, drug use in the workplace, and violence in the workplace is the number one. How do I protect employees but still protect the privacy of each individual? So that's basically the two chapters. If I look at these two chapters, so we're all set on this now. So you'll do the chapter 10. I mean, chapter 11, human relations. You do the connect. Remember, it's only one connect with 20 points. You do one quiz in chapter 12. So you'll see how you're doing the quizzes. This way, you still get more points, but you can be able to focus in. I want to see your improvement on your grade. Your forums, only one forum this week. It did pretty well last week on motivation. Very interesting. More and more forums. I'm going to start off. You have to start your forums on Tuesday by midnight, the latest, and then I'll respond one or two or three times. And I'm now monitoring your forum. I want to monitor your forum just like you see how you're working as a team, because it's not always what the boss doesn't respond to me, so I don't have to be active in the team. You're in a lot of teams where your supervisor, your manager, he or she is either transparent but still listening to everything that's going on. So so you have your forum, and this week forums, what you're going to be talking about, you're going to talk about your feasibility. So you're going to be you open up a new project. You're going to be either what do you call it? A new product line or a new business. You're going to tell me who your customers are. In this one, you're going to tell me who your competitors are. You're going to tell me who your target markets, the demographics. You're going to give me a name for your project or something else. And this can be very interesting. Now, when you go in the forum, try to respond, hey, that's a good idea. Did you think about doing this? Remember, a feasibility study is the first step before opening up a full business. I first have to test the waters to see if there's even practical for me to come up with to spend all my resources into this venture, and what is the return on the investment. Okay, so we should be all right. So that's it for this week. That's a pretty good week. You're going to learn about chapters HR, human resources, and chapters 12 on conflict and conflict resolution. So you have very good ideas. A manager, a business owner, or an individual, how to resolve conflicts. I should know the terms and conditions. I should know the rules. I should know the policies that a company has in case something goes in my favor or something goes against me, so I know how to respond adequately and within the confines of the policies and the government regulations and laws. Okay, so that's it for this week, chapter 7. You're doing well. We're halfway through. We're going to get your new topics. Make sure you put your the topic you're going to open up, or the business plan, or the product line you're going to open up in your subject area, so other people can respond, and we should do pretty good. So my name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Introduction to Business 111, offered by Harper College, located in Palatine, Illinois, utilizing Blackboard Course Management System and Connect McGraw-Hill integrative software called Learn Smart or Connect. And I'll see you in the forum. Bye.